Hey, time for another out of this world story from our revenge redemption. Sometimes the best revenge isn't a dramatic confrontation. It's living so well that people assume you were the problem because there's no way someone this hot and successful ever got cheated on. Today on our space, it's the post-breakup glow-up. Up first, some women get flowers when they announce a pregnancy. OP got betrayal. I caught my fiancé hooking up with my sister while I'm pregnant, and tomorrow I'm exposing everything at our family gathering. I have reached the edge of what I can bear. I am 28 and have been with my fiancé for just over 3 years. We lived together with my 4-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. 3 weeks ago I found out I'm pregnant again. At first I was overjoyed, naive enough to think we were finally creating the stable family I had always wanted. He grew distant the very next day. He ignored my excitement, started coming home late, and kept his phone glued to him at all times. I began noticing strange calls and those discreet social media notifications that vanished too quickly. My gut told me to investigate. I almost wish I had not. He has been secretly hooking up with my older sister behind my back. He was the one I always tolerated, even though she drags drama wherever she goes. She would hug me when relatives were around, pretend to be the supportive older sibling, and then turn around and badmouth me to her friends. I never imagined she would crawl into my life this deeply. It felt like a slap in the face to read their messages calling me clueless for not noticing. He told her about the pregnancy before he was honest with me about his doubts, and they joked about how stressed I would be raising another child. My sister bragged that our entire family thinks she is the more interesting and more popular sibling. Meanwhile, I am just the quiet one who apparently deserves this. I do not know if they are still meeting in secret or if they just get a kick out of hurting me. My fiancé denies everything whenever I confront him, says I am hormonal, that my imagination is running wild. My sister keeps messaging me, telling me I should keep my mouth shut and stop being dramatic. I am done hiding my anger. My mother wants me to talk it out calmly, but how do I fix something so broken I can barely breathe? My fiancé thinks I will just accept this. He is counting on me being too shy or too pregnant to do anything. Tomorrow I plan to blow this up in front of the entire family. We are supposed to have a casual get-together at our parents' house, ironically to celebrate my pregnancy announcement. I will gather my phone logs, the screenshots, and all those humiliating texts they sent to each other. Once all the relatives have settled in, I will put everything on display. No more secrets. I might burn everything in the process. I might lose any chance of a pleasant co-parenting scenario, but I feel like I have no other way to reclaim my dignity. I have been crying non-stop for days, my nerves are shot, and all I get from my fiancé is either silent treatment or insults. My sister taunts me and acts like I am worthless. I see no reason to protect them anymore. I do not know what happens next. Maybe they will run off together. Maybe they will lie or twist things around to make me look insane. My fiancé has not contributed much financially, so I worry about affording my daughter and this potential new baby on my own. Yet I cannot pretend everything is normal. I have to protect whatever self-respect I have left. I'm going to set my entire world on fire tomorrow. Part of me feels terrified. The other part is numb. Regardless, I am done letting them tiptoe around my heart. If they want my silence, they should have kept their betrayal better hidden. Let everyone see exactly who they are. This is all I have left. Date 2 days later. I'm still reeling from what happened. After writing my last post, I spent hours debating with myself about whether I should really go through with exposing them at our family gathering. A part of me was scared I would turn my whole life upside down forever, but I knew I couldn't sleep letting them walk all over me while pretending everything was fine. I called my mom beforehand to let her know I was breaking up with him and to prepare her. When I arrived at my parents' house, everyone was already there, including my ex-fiancé and my sister. My mother tried to pull me aside, whispering that we should talk first. I stayed calm, walked straight into the living room where everyone was sitting, and asked them to listen. They looked confused. My sister immediately rolled her eyes and my fiancé mumbled something, probably hoping I would stay silent. I started reading the most shocking parts of the messages I found between them. They mocked me, joked about me not noticing anything, and said I deserved this. I had timestamps proving he was sneaking around with my own sister while I was at home with my daughter. My sister stood up and accused me of lying, her voice defensive and low-pitched. But I just kept reading. The messages spoke for themselves. I revealed how he told her about my pregnancy before even discussing it with me, and how they laughed about me being stressed raising another child. My fiancé tried to dismiss me, claiming I was overreacting and misinterpreting the situation because of my emotional and pregnant state. He even blamed my mental health. By then, he stormed out of the room and my sister started crying. My dad stared at the floor, silent, while my mother looked horrified. Finally, my sister snapped and stormed out, yelling that I was a dramatic liar who blew everything out of proportion. Now the fallout begins. My fiancé, or rather my ex-fiancé, has been texting me non-stop. One moment he says he is sorry, the next he blames me for humiliating him. He shows zero genuine remorse. He is just mad that I exposed him. My sister calls me horrendous names, says I ruined her image, and refuses to take responsibility. She insists I am making up drama. Honestly, I do not even know if they are still seeing each other or blaming each other for being caught. Either way, their secret is out, and that is all I wanted. I am now talking to a lawyer because this man barely contributed financially before. I have to protect my daughter and ensure I never have a child with him. Only the thought of raising 2 kids alone is terrifying. I feel numb and heartbroken at times, but I also feel a strange sense of relief. At least everyone knows the truth now. I exposed everything that day in the living room, but at least I am no longer being trampled on in silence. My sister and ex-fiancé can no longer laugh behind my back. Yes, things will probably get messy. They might lie to other relatives, people we mutually know, or twist the story, but I am glad I refused to keep quiet. All I can do now is focus on the positive, talk to my lawyer and move forward. It will be painful, but I will do everything in my power to build a new future on my own terms, far away from these people. Oh, so she thinks you ruined her image. Clearly, she doesn't realize that she did this to herself, and there is no one to blame but herself. Let them spiral. Let them cry about the mess they made while you move forward, lawyer up, and secure a future free of their parasitic nonsense. What's the best way you revealed the truth? Share your stories with us below. Next up, heartbreak activated some secret upgrade system for this OP. You will move on and life will get better. I never thought I would, and did. A little over 2 years ago, I, female, currently 41, caught my partner of many years, my kid's dad, male, currently 36, and the person I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, cheating. I caught him hooking up with men on a Monday, was pretty shocked, so on Tuesday I asked for some space. That Wednesday, I discovered an affair with a woman from his work, and on that Thursday, they were in a relationship and moved in together. I thought my life was over at the time. If you read my post history, you will get a sense of how I felt. I was devastated. I remember how I felt those few months, posting on Reddit and other forums daily, barely able to function. In a matter of 3 days, my entire world collapsed, or so I thought. At the time, I knew I would never get over this. You know what, though? I did. The first few months were unbearable. Even now, I can say I have never truly felt pain like that, and I don't think I ever will again. I would never wish that on my worst enemy. I spent those first few months doing everything I was supposed to do, and nothing helped. 2 years and a month later, and I am living a life I never thought possible, and I could never have had with him. I was happy in my relationship, and I probably could have spent the rest of my life with him, and probably would have. His affair and leaving was the impetus for so much positive change, though some intentional, some not. I lost tons of weight very quickly because I couldn't eat at first, but that led to me developing healthier habits related to diet and exercise and lifestyle in general, and have kept it off. I feel amazing, I'm so healthy, and look and feel better than I did 10 years ago. My career has skyrocketed beyond what I could have imagined. I got promotions I wanted so badly when we were together and I never got. My relationship with my children is closer than ever, and I appreciate them and my role as a mother in a way I didn't before. I keep my house cleaner, I'm more social, and have made new friends and improved bonds with old friends. I got the most wonderful dog, who I love with all my heart. I've dated and had 2 relationships, neither of which panned out, but that was my choice, and I feel so much more confident knowing what I want and don't want. I have a lot of hope and optimism for the future, and truly believe there is an incredible partner out there for me. 2 years ago, I couldn't even fathom that I would meet someone else. Our anniversary would have been a week ago, and I didn't even remember, and when I was reminded, I didn't really care. The point of this post is if you are pining and hurting, it gets better, I promise. Just have faith and keep moving forward. Your ex really did you a favor, Ope. You didn't just move on. You upgraded to a life so good that the past version of you would assume you were lying, and that's how it should be. Bravo! What's your biggest flex after a breakup? Let us know in the comments. Our last OP isn't afraid of a little turbulence. Taking the high road. Hello everyone. My name is Jack and I am here to tell my story. I hope that you can find some value in it. I am a former Army officer. I got married young to my high school sweetheart who was also an Army officer. She was a nurse and I was a helicopter pilot. The Army tries very hard to keep couples together, which is part of the reason we got married and married so young. With the spacing of our careers, I always followed my wife to various duty stations. We were first stationed in Hawaii together. I always made friends wherever I went. She was somewhat of an introvert. However, she still made friends with coworkers and my friends' wives. We did our 3-year stint and it was time to move on to new units. Towards the end of our tour in Hawaii, I was working in Southeast Asia and my wife got orders to Colorado. We ended up purchasing a beautiful house unseen. I unfortunately had to go to a 6-month professional development course in Alabama. I left Hawaii 2 weeks before her, moved all of our stuff into our new house. I picked her up from the airport and we had a week together in our new home before I had to leave for Alabama. Fortunately, my course was a gentleman's course. I was able to visit her in Colorado on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and every long weekend. About halfway through my time in Alabama, I got orders to work in the space community in Colorado. I was thrilled, although I realized this could be the end of a successful aviation career in the Army. I didn't care. I was going to get to live with my wife for another 3 years. One Wednesday, my wife asked me if I was cool with her going out with some coworkers for dinner. I was honestly thrilled. As previously mentioned, she was extremely introverted. I was just happy she was making friends. I didn't care that it was mixed company. I had chick friends after all. She can certainly have dude friends. One long weekend in February, I was back in Colorado visiting. It was tax season, so I opened up her laptop. The iMessage app was pulled up and everything was deleted. Weird, I thought. Later I checked her iPad. Same thing. Everything was deleted. That night, after she fell asleep, I checked her phone. iMessages, Facebook, Instagram. All clean. However, she had a Snapchat from one of her dude coworkers. I knew if I checked it she would know. But I did it anyway. Heart you. Miss you. I could use some more of your pomegranate lip balm. I was crushed. I texted her coworker from her phone for a bit. Eventually I got a text from her. And said this is her